Welcome to the Elementary Instructional Services site. The focus of this video will be to update you on all changes to the new site as well as some resources that have been provided in the content of mathematics. It's also to familiarize yourself with the new updates as you prepare for the 2020-21 school year. So let's first begin by finding the Math tab in the Math page. You can go to the left-hand side navigational bar to locate mathematics. You can go in that way, or you can find the icon on the right by scrolling down and finding mathematics. Everything is in alphabetical order except for your first two icons, the instruction department and then the fall re-entry 2020 tab. These are pretty important documents and pages that we wanted to make sure that you're aware of, but everything else should be in alphabetical order. So let's go to the Math page. As we move into the Math page, you will notice that all grade levels are listed on this one page. Okay? Then all grade levels have most of the same documents except for 1st through 5th, and they have an extra document. And I'll take you to that as soon as we talk about 1st through 5th grade. So let's begin with the curriculum documents. As you open the curriculum document, you'll notice that we will be using the 2016 Virginia Framework. These were implemented in 2019. Also, all documents have the test blueprints. In each of these math curriculum documents, you will find the SOL test blueprints and the vertical articulation for grades K through Algebra 2. These documents will help you when building assessment questions for your grade level, as well as for planning, so you can see what will be assessed on the SOL test in grades 3 through 5, and knowing the expectations in all grade levels or the grade level above and below you will help you plan accurately when you look at the Virginia Standards of Learning for your grade level. The next thing I want you to find in your curriculum document is the quarterly overview. The quarterly overview and pacing is an overview and pacing that is aligned to HMH Go Math. These will give you the chapters, the lessons, and the standards that are covered based on each unit. As you scroll down, it'll take you into your first unit. It gives you the first 20 days, which leads you to another document. This is hyperlinked. And then what the strand introduction is all about, number sense, and then gives you the chapters for each in that quarter, and then the standards below it. The next thing you'll want to make sure of, though, is that you're covering what is in the first 20 days. This may look different this year because you may need to modify it based on your asynchronous or synchronous days. So work with your team and be flexible when working through the first 20 days. You don't have to cover everything because you're going to be covering some things that we don't even have in here, like the asynchronous or synchronous learning opportunities. So let's move back to the page. You also have the VDOE co-teaching plans. This takes you directly to the Virginia Department of Ed site, where it has numerous resources on here for grade levels if you're in a co-teaching situation this year. The next thing we have is the math task and electronic manipulative resources. This will come in handy this year because of asynchronous and synchronous learning. Whether you're hybrid or distance, this may be something that you turn to. This has a lot of math task and resources that are digital, as well as virtual math manipulatives below. Again, this will help you with asynchronous and synchronous learning, so you can put manipulatives into the hands, or virtual manipulatives, onto the screen of students. Let's go back to the site. The next thing you'll see in every grade level are the math tracking logs. These logs can be used at grade level team meetings or individual classes to keep track of the SOLs that you have addressed this year and to add comments on the side. Moving in and out of hybrid to distance learning may occur this year. At the end of the year, we want to know what students have been taught and what standards they have been missing. And then the last tab that's on here is just-in-time mathematics quick checks. You go into this tab. These have been created by the Virginia Department of Education as just that, quick checks, quick formative checks. These just-in-time mathematics quick checks are formative assessments that align to the 2016 Mathematics Standards of Learning. These resources, developed by the Virginia Department of Ed, teachers, and mathematics leaders, are designed to help teachers identify students with unfinished learning and assist in planning instruction to fill potential gaps just in time. As the new content is introduced throughout the school year, teachers can use these quick checks to identify and diagnose unfinished learning at grade level and/or to assess understanding of prerequisite knowledge that may be needed to access grade level content. Student gaps in mathematics understanding exist for a variety of reasons, and these reasons can be used to help get students' mathematical learning back on track. The quick checks should not be bundled together and used for an assessment to mimic a summative or SOL assessment. They should not be used for a grade. These assessments are a part of a balanced assessment plan that includes other types of assessments in your classroom. As you can see, number and number sense, each one of these blue buttons are hyperlinked to a document. They're all live. If you go down to the other strands, computation, estimation, measurement and geometry, probability and statistics, and patterns, functions, and algebra have not been loaded yet. The Virginia Department of Ed will be rolling these out in bundles, and as they are rolled out, we will be sure to update them for you. Now, we're going to move into first grade and talk about that document that's not on kindergarten, but is in first grade through fifth grade. These are the pacing documents for COVID-19 recovery standards. Once you go into that, you will see, this is for first grade, so you will see the kindergarten standards that were not covered last year. Then you will see the standards that it aligns to for first grade. All of the standards that they missed last year will not be taught immediately when they come back. However, they will be embedded into each of the quarters, as you can see here. So K.7, our students were not given the opportunity due to being out of school from March the 13th to the end of the year for K.7 to be taught. Some teachers did hit these in distance learning, but if they did not hit them, then you'll want to make sure that they learn that K.7 because it aligns to 1.8. So you may have to backtrack and do a few lessons to bring students up to speed in order to be able to access 1.8. And that's how this document is to be used. And again, teach these along with the quarter that they go in and make sure that these gaps that they don't exist. Okay? The next thing we want to do is go back to the site, and at the very bottom you're going to see some resources. One of the best resources, I think they're all great resources, but one of the best resources I feel is the Insert Rich Mathematically Task Remotely. If you go into that, this is a webinar from Grant Fletcher that you can watch on your own that will take you through some of the ideas that he has shared if you're asynchronous or synchronous on how to get those rich math tasks out there to students, no matter what the setting is. So these are all the resources that have are updated on the math page. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your instructional supervisor for your school or reach out to your instructional coach. Thank you and have a great day.